Welcome to Unit 2. Today, I'm going to introduce you to Gale and Context Opposing Viewpoint, the database where you'll conduct your research to complete the analytical essay and accompanying writing portfolio assignments. First, Gale Viewpoints is an online resource that you can access via your student account. You will be able to use the database both on campus and off, although if you're off campus, there is an additional login step required for access. There are three main ways to navigate to Gale. I've included a direct link in Unit 2's writing portfolio and also in the essay assignment instructions. So if you've come to your writing portfolio, please scroll down in the first part and you'll find the link to Gale Opposing Viewpoints. There's also a similar link in your instructions for writing your essay. It's in the second paragraph. The third way is to search via the FECC's library database page, which looks like this. I'm working off campus right now, and I am not having much luck accessing Gale from off campus via this route. So this one can potentially be trouble if you're working off campus. If not, if you click on that and then you go to, once again, Opposing Viewpoints under Gale, it should take you there. However, these direct links from your assignment instructions will take you to a home page that looks like this. This is an incredible resource that contains everything you need for this unit, with the exception of APA citation and formatting information. The first part of the assignment is to review the topics presented in Gale and narrow it down to 3 potential issues for you to analyze. The top part of the homepage lists a few suggested issues: smartphones, disability rights. Then as you scroll down, you'll see a robust list grouped together in categories. If you want to see all the issues available in this database, which includes 487, click here. It brings you to an extraordinary range of topics, one that will surely gauge your interest and keep you going throughout this new unit. Now, I've selected natural disasters for this unit, so I'm going to click on natural disasters. Once I have selected my topic, I am going to be taken to an overview page. This is a key page that gives you an excellent overview of the topic and critical background information. So make sure you click Read More, and you'll be taken to this page. What's really helpful is, besides this background information, Gale has summarized the main ideas in this blue section. And then as you scroll down, there are also areas of critical thinking questions. These 2 sidebar sections are going to help you, one, understand the issue, determine some of the viewpoints, and maybe provide some questions to get you thinking about what the proponents or opponents might think about the issue. Okay, so if you read the background information, which is required to help you complete Unit 2.1 writing portfolio, it's also then time to look at the viewpoints. So you're going to go back to the previous page to find the viewpoints. So again, step 1, find a topic. Step 2, read the background information. Once you've got the background information and you think this is a topic you might want to research, let's look at the viewpoints. So in this gray section, you're going to look at the different categories of information available in this database. We're most interested in the viewpoints. So to that end, you're going to need to find at least 6 viewpoint articles for your selected topic. I like to start over here with Gale's Featured Viewpoint section, as it typically contains the most relevant or recent text regarding the topic and contains a smaller selection of articles compared to the regular viewpoint section. So over here, there's 18 articles in featured viewpoints, whereas the whole viewpoint section contains 120. You'll also notice this area contains several other categories. We've got reference, images, infographics, statistics. These areas contain helpful information, especially as you begin to draft your paper. So you might need to come back here, especially as it's time to work on your paper. Now it's time to learn about the issue's viewpoint. So I am once again going to featured viewpoints, and it should bring me a list. And I'm going to pick this article. FEMA has faced criticism and praise during Helene. Here's what it does and doesn't do. So we'll click on this article. Gale has a great feature that provides a brief summary of each article at the top in blue. This is an important place to start, especially as you're combing through ideas and you don't necessarily have the time to read the full articles. Start with the commentary. This article commentary also helps identify the viewpoint of the story. So if I'm here, I am reading through and I am getting some ideas that the author, Rebecca Santana, has some ideas about FEMA. And so here we go. The author notes FEMA exists to help states and communities rebuild after experiencing natural disasters like Hurricane Helene. Santana asserts criticism leveled at FEMA, notably from former President Donald Trump, mischaracterize how the agency actually functions, including the false notion that its budget has already been spent on other issues like helping Israel, Ukraine, and undocumented immigrants. Okay, so what I'm getting the sense before I've even read this commentary is that there's a viewpoint that FEMA, which is the Federal Emergency Management Agency, has a lot of misconceptions, even coming from politicians, because people might not know how its money is spent. So I've read that section. Then I am required to read the whole article that follows. To complete the writing portfolio for 2.2, you'll need to 1. Determine what the opposing viewpoints are by reading a wide range of articles. You can first do this by scanning, again, the article commentary to see if you can find either supporting or opposing viewpoints before you read the story in its entirety. For example, now that I've established there might be some misconceptions about what FEMA does, I might kind of look for other articles that either agree with this or refute that point. Once you've identified the viewpoints, you'll need to define them in the portfolio and then locate the primary arguments that support the perspective. Finally, you will need to identify good quotes or reference material from your sources that illustrate the argument. I'll walk you through my process. So again, I am going to be working with natural resources, and I need some good quotes. So I'm reading through, and here's one. There are a lot of misperceptions about FEMA's role in disaster recovery, what it does and does not pay for, and what residents in hurricane hit areas can expect. So this might start getting me some viewpoints. Okay. And I also start learning some facts about what it can do. But again, I'm trying to look at for good pieces of information that helps me understand where some of these misconceptions are going. It goes over how some of the funds are dispersed and who's responsible for what. So as you see, there's a lot of information. So it might take you some time to kind of understand. So a good quote that I might show about some of the public's misconceptions about FEMA is this one. This is one of the kind of major problem FEMA has in terms of how the public understands their role and responsibility, said Montano, the professor. FEMA does not make anybody whole after disaster happens. They are not going to give you enough money to completely recover your life. So I find that this quote is pretty compelling, and I might want to use it when I'm listing off quotes and their sources. So what you can do is copy and paste from the article into your writing portfolio directly. So that's a quick overview of how you're reading through these viewpoint articles. I also want to point out a few helpful tips as you explore Gale. So I'm going to go back here to the Opposing Viewpoints homepage. As you might have noticed, 487 topics is a lot. And natural disasters in of itself is still a very broad topic. So up here at this great toolbar, there is Topic Finder. So if you want to drill down even a little bit more into what natural disasters means, and I'm starting to think that my analysis is going to be on the federal government response, you can look at a really cool tile or visual wheel to help you focus. So clearly they've got a lot of articles on wildfires, floods, climate change, fire, hurricane. You can come here to the federal government. And what this is going to do is probably start to narrow in some of those articles that connect the federal government and natural disaster response. You can also switch this from tiles to a wheel. And so however you like to work visually, this just helps pinpoint or narrow down such broad topics and will also help narrow your search results. So that's one great tip. Another thing is once you've gone back, started locating the articles that were really helpful, please download them. So I really enjoyed this. FEMA has faced criticism and praise during Helene. Here's what it does and doesn't do. I thought this was a great article, and what I want to do so I don't lose it, and especially since this is an online resource, and where I live, my internet can conk out, I am going to download this. It's going to download it into a PDF file. So this is really helpful. You can also get a smart link or just a really strong link. So that's available in the toolbar. You can also print this article. Another great thing is highlighting and notes. So if you're reading this and again, you were really wanting to focus on what the viewpoints were or maybe a supporting argument, you can go ahead and highlight within this space. And then once you've added your highlights and your notes, if you download it, it will save on your PDF document what you highlighted. So some really, really good tips. So once again, I encourage you to explore and spend time viewing all the options this resource provides. As a reminder, since this is a library database, the librarians over at the FVCC library are more than willing to help. Databases can be very big. There's a ton of information. It can be a little overwhelming. So if you're finding yourself a little bit lost or going down rabbit holes, please feel free to check in with the librarian. They'd be more than happy to help navigate this great database for you. Okay, good luck.